Hello, this is a help video for lessons 201 and 202, the properties of rational exponent. So, in the lesson we learned how to change from radical form to rational form. So if we have n to the 2/3 power, we need to put it into a radical form. The denominator is going to be the index, okay, which goes up into this portion. The numerator is going to be the power of our radicand, which is inside. So to convert this, 3 again becomes our index, and then the 2 becomes a power inside our radicand. Now, very important that you do not write it as 3n squared. It is not in front. Okay? It is the index. It is not in front. If we have 3 in front, that's 3 times the square root of n squared, which is incorrect. It's the third root of n squared. All right. We next are going to convert this to rational form. So now we're going to go the opposite way. It does not ask us to simplify, it just wants us to convert it. So that's fine. So again, this number is our index, and it becomes our denominator. And the radicand becomes the 6 becomes our numerator. So we'd have 3n, and I'm going to leave it in parentheses. The numerator is 6 over 5. So now we're going to place this into radical form. But when multiplying, it's hard to multiply if they're not the same form. So we're going to first convert that to rational form. So that would become n to the 3/4 power times n to the 2/3 power. Now, remember, when we're multiplying, it's not the same as multiplying the fractions. We add the powers. So to do that, we're going to do 3/4 plus 2/3. We need to find a common denominator. The common denominator of 4 and 3 is 12. Oops. So we're going to multiply the first fraction by 3 over 3 and the second fraction by 4 over 4. Giving us 9 over 12 plus 8 over 12. And now we can add them together. We get 17 over 12. Now, if we can reduce, we need to reduce. However, we cannot with this because 17 is a prime number. So we're going to put this back into radical form. Remember, our denominator is our index. So that's 12. We had the variable n, and so our power would be 17. And that is your final answer. All right, now it says to place it into radical form. Remember, when we are dividing, we subtract their powers. So we're going to subtract 3/5 minus -1/2. Again, we need a common denominator. The common denominator between 5 and 2 is 12 or 10. So that means we multiply the first fraction by 2 over 2 and the second fraction by 5 over 5. The first fraction would become 6 over 10. The two negatives equal a positive, and then we would get 5 over 10, which is equal to 11 over 10. Okay, again, we would need to try to reduce our fraction. In this case, we cannot. So we put it into radical form. The 10 becomes our index. And the 11 becomes our power of the radicand. All right, same concept again. So we're going to subtract 4/3 from 2/9. The common denominator here is 9, so we're going to multiply by 3/3, giving us 12/9 minus 2/9, which would be equal to 10/9. Can we reduce 10/9? We cannot. So we're going to put that back into radical form, and we get 9th root of m to the 10th power. All right, one last example. So first, we need to go ahead and I think it's easiest to simplify the numerator first. So we would put that into radical form, or rational form, which would be 3/2. And this would be 2/4. Now, if we had a power outside our parentheses, it means we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply that, and we'd get 6/2. Okay, let's go ahead and reduce our fractions now. So 6/2 is the same thing as x to the 3rd, and 2/4 is the same thing as x to the 1/2. So we're going to subtract 1 minus 1/2. The common denominator is 2, so we're going to multiply this by 2/2, giving us 6/2 minus 1/2, which would be 5/2. Okay, and now we need to place that into radical form. The 2 is my index. If 2 is ever your index, you can put it there, or you don't have to. Okay, if it's written without an index, like it is here, it's assumed that it's a 2. So you can either have it with, or you could have it without. Now, we would maybe want to simplify this a little bit further. Okay, so actually we're going to leave it like that because we're going to talk about how to simplify those radicals in a later lesson. So for now, we just put it into radical form, and we'll worry about simplifying it later. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any questions, please contact your instructor.